When to file a Lis Pendens in Maryland or DC by Pendergraft. That's me, and I'm an attorney that is licensed to practice law in both Maryland and in DC. Disclaimer, this is legal information. This is not legal advice. For legal advice, you can contact an attorney that is licensed to practice law in your jurisdiction. All right, a quick presentation outline. All right, so we're going to go over what is a Lis Pendens, when to not file a Lis Pendens, how a Lis Pendens differs in Maryland and in DC. We're going to go through some use cases as well. So use case number one I have is tying up a property after a seller backs out. And use case number two is attempting to prevent a foreclosure sale. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I keep giving you guys more file content like this. And I have an article version available on my website at tpf.legal. And I'm going to put the link in the description to this video so you guys can check out the article version. So what is a Lis Pendens? A Lis Pendens is a recorded instrument, like a deed, to put the world on notice that there is a pending lawsuit concerning the property. The purpose of filing a notice of pending action, or a Lis Pendens, is to protect your interest in the property. When to not file a Lis Pendens? So you should only file a Lis Pendens after a lawsuit has been filed. Lis Pendens literally means suit pending. If a lawsuit is not pending and you file a Lis Pendens, you could be subjecting yourself to damages for causing a cloud on someone's property. How a Lis Pendens differs in Maryland and in DC. So Maryland is unique, at least in comparison to DC, because the Lis Pendens rule explicitly states that in the county where the property is located, purchasers are said to be put on constructive notice on the pending legal action. So constructive notice, what that means is that people will be treated as if they had notice of the pending legal action, even if they technically didn't or actually did not. So even so, more often than not, I still think it can still be advantageous to file a notice of Lis Pendens to protect your interest, just so it's likely to show up in just so it shows up in land records as well. So how a Lis Pendens differs in Maryland and in DC. Continue. So in counties where the property is not located, a Lis Pendens must be filed to for people to be for notice to be for people to be put on notice in I guess those other counties. That said, I can't really think of many situations in which I would need to file a notice of pending legal action in a county other than where the property is located. So if you guys can think of a situation, just let me know in the contents, because I can't really think of any. So Lis Pendens use case number one. Tying up a property after a seller backs out. So a Lis Pendens might come in handy if you're attempting to buy a property and then the seller defaults. So you may decide to sue the seller for a specific performance to attempt to force the sale to discourage people from buying the home. So for example, let's say you're a real estate investor and you enter into a contract to buy a house, and then the seller backs out at the last minute. You can sue the seller for a specific performance to attempt to force the sale of the home. Then you could file Lis Pendens to make it harder for the buyer to sell the property to someone else. Lis Pendens use case number two, attempt to prevent a foreclosure sale. So I once filed a notice of pending legal action, or a Lis Pendens, for a property that was facing foreclosure. The homeowner filed a lawsuit against the lender to attempt to get an injunction to stop the sale. And I was tasked to record a Lis Pendens to put any potential foreclosure purchasers on notice of the injunction lawsuit. So when they run a title search, they will see the Lis Pendens and learn about the injunction lawsuit. So the Lis Pendens, it actually references the lawsuit, the case number. So whoever finds it, then they can go look up the case number and see it. So this could discourage purchasers from buying the property until the injunction lawsuit has been resolved. And that is it. So this was a pretty quick video, actually. So if you have any questions that you would like to be considered for the Ask Attorney P series, you can let me know at tpf.legal/ask. I'm going to have I'm going to put a link in the description where you guys can click on that as well. And thanks for watching. Again, this is me, Pendergraft, with the Pendergraft firm, real estate attorney, Maryland and DC. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe or die.